Falcons went out and lost a tough game on Sunday Night Football to the San Francisco 49ers 20-10, and they cannot go down this road that I see them going down, and they have to remember that Bijan, not Penix, is the key to that offense and the entire season. Yeah, for the Falcons in this game against the 49ers, I just think that the game plan was just not good. Just a ridiculous thought process, in my opinion, based off of a couple of factors. I mean, you're playing a 49ers team, yes, the 49ers, and they played very physical and very tough, so maybe you didn't want to quite run at them, but they had just lost Fred Warner, their middle linebacker. I'm trying to expose that down the middle as much as possible in the run game, and they just came out with, to me, just a weird plan. They came out just throwing 8 passes, didn't set any tone in this game, and it's just mind-boggling. Not only do you have Bijan, but they've had up to this point the #1 running offense in the NFL, and they just came out and completely lost that identity. And it just seemed like they wanted it to be Penix. They wanted him to be the one who kind of like lit up the defense. And I kind of get it to some degree strategically. You know, the Tampa Bay had kind of ripped them to shreds a little bit in the passing game toward the end of the game. But that only happened because Tampa Bay was sticking with the run throughout the entire first half. And I just remember, they were running the ball the entire time, and then they started throwing it. That could have worked. And also, it was the game that Fred Warner went out, so there were some miscommunications in the secondary. But yeah, coming out 38 passes to 20 runs in a game in which it was one score really until the very end, just not what the Falcons needed to do. And they don't have games to play around with how wild the NFC is. Every game is crucial. Losing that game, what ends up happening now is you don't have the tiebreaker over the 49ers, who could be a wild card team. And last I saw, the Panthers are 9th at 4-3. Like this, you're 3-3. That was a crucial loss, and to lose because you didn't give Bijan the ball enough. At least in the running game. Now, receiving it 52 yards and a touchdown, that's cool. But they needed to be more physical. They needed to be more downhill with him or Aljair. They needed to be who they are, specifically because on the other end, the 49ers were straight up attacking their one weakness, and we'll get to that. But, yeah, I don't even think Penix was necessarily bad. He didn't throw a pick. But he did make some crucial errors, specifically right before halftime. Opportunity to get a field goal. Kind of wild to even put him in this position. They had no timeouts on I think the 30, and the pressure started coming in, and he starts running backwards, threw it away. Ends up being intentional grounding though, because he didn't get outside of the pocket, which led to a 10-second runoff, and that killed their field goal opportunity. In a game that's 20-10, all these points, that the game was 13-10 for a while until the very end. McCaffrey ended up scoring a touchdown. So for that to happen, awful. And he also had a fumble. So not a good game by any stretch. And I don't understand why they put it all on his shoulders in an unnecessary spot on the road against a team that just lost their middle linebacker and already lost their D-end. You just go with them in the trenches when you have that running game. They didn't do it, and I really think that cost them the game. And I don't want to be hyperbolic, but that easily could be a game that costs you the playoffs when you just look at the standings and how they're going. And it's tough because you go out there, you beat the Bills, right? But they were much more balanced against the Bills. But they were throwing it on them, and so maybe they thought, their passing game had and they threw it a lot on the Commanders as well. Maybe they thought their passing game had reached a level that it's not quite on. But that was just upsetting because he was hitting good passes. Like, he was hitting some tight angle passes. That's just not the identity of the team. And Bijan's out there. Bijan Robinson is there. Use him. You don't have to use Penix to be the central point of your offense. Look at the Colts. Jonathan Taylor is first in the league in yards and touchdowns. He's also first in carries. Bijan's got to get the ball as often as possible. Even if you want to use Algier to sub him in, to spell him so he's not tired, fine. Not getting wear and tear, that's cool. But that can't be the strategy in a big game for the Falcons the rest of the year. I don't care. You're number one in running. Run the freaking football. Defensively, they were yet again exposed in their run defense. The last time that we saw that happen, that was against the Panthers, and the Panthers just ran all over them. Now, fairness, they didn't run for 200 on them, like some other teams did, but they controlled the game, running the football. It was ground and pound, and that's how they were able to beat them. I mean, part of the reason they were able to beat them 30-0, they also controlled the run game against Bijan. So in this game, McCaffrey, he was just going wild. 120 yards on the ground. Now, he was cooking them in every which way, receiving as well. But 130 on the ground for him. Robinson, Brian Robinson added 40 yards as well. So they end up with about 170 yards on the ground. It's not like the Falcons are terrible on run defense. They're 16th in the league, but that's clearly going to be how teams have to attack them. Their passing defense right now, with what Raheem Morris has done, with the pass rushes that they drafted, and with their cornerbacks that they also got in the draft in previous years, those guys are all elite. So you got to attack the run game, and that's what's going to be open, and they're going to need to address that. Now this game, Diablo, he actually left the game pretty early. That's their starting linebacker. He left the game early with an injury, and that definitely had an impact for sure, obviously. When you run defense, when you lose your middle linebacker, I think that was a part of it. But the 49ers came out immediately, and they're like, we're going at you running the football, and it worked. And I think that's what teams are going to start doing now if the Falcons can't adjust to that, because no one's going to want to throw on this team. It's the defensive backfield of A.J. Terrell. Floyd has been screaming. Bates as your safety. The pass defense is just too good for you to want to attack that right now. And so they're going to attack the run, and that's what happened. And they just got out schemed this game. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the league. Robert Saleh is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. There's no shame in it, but if you want to make the playoffs, that can't happen going forward. You know what I mean? Now, the run defense thing, that's going to be what it is. But you got to stick with the run. You're the number one run team in the league because that's your formula. Run the ball, get a lead, stop the pass. It's right there for you. You're number one in both of them. Pretty great. Pretty amazing stuff to be number one in two completely different categories on offense and defense. But you got to use it, and it has to be a part of it. So with the Falcons, hey, look, the Bucs lost at least, so the division's not completely out, but you did lose to the Buccaneers already in that tough opening day game. But just with the log jam, that makes it interesting as well. And now the Panthers, forgot they lost to the Panthers, and the Panthers are 4-3 as well. That's not great, but you get one pick-me-up. It's coming. You get the Dolphins. They're a disaster. That might be the worst team in the league right now. So you should smoke them. Pretty easy game for you at home. After that, it's a real up-and-down schedule for these guys. You're going to find out about them, though. You get the Patriots, then the Colts, and the Panthers. I kind of throw the Panthers in there a little bit, too. And after that, you get the Saints and the Jets. So it's a real just boom, boom, boom schedule. I mean, there's opportunities for sure to go win some games. I see the Cardinals in here, another Saints game. It's opportunities definitely to win some games. You hate to drop that one. I think come out, you beat the Dolphins. You got to beat the Panthers. You can't have them beating you twice. And if you just split, somehow, some way split with the Patriots and Colts, you're in a really good spot. And those are two good teams. That's going to be a tough ask. It's not an easy thing to do. But if you can somehow do that, you're in a good spot. But right now, obviously, the problem with the Falcons is they're 3-3. It's just the consistency aspect of it. You never really know what you're getting schematically on a week-to-week basis, from Penix on a week-to-week basis, and from this team. And I think that ultimately is the thing holding them back. So we'll see if going forward, the Falcons can get it together, find some consistency, and make a real push to get into the playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.